Yeah, it's Pop and Peeps, typhlosion787 here today, and, well, there's just some news that I saw on, not the Nintendo Direct itself, but on someone's video of it, and, well, I'm pretty hyped. Now, I didn't really care for Banjo-Kazooie too much. I mean, sure, he was in my top 25 to make it, but I've never played a Banjo game. That was for the fans of Banjo, and, well, but after that, and after the Terry Bogard reveal, look, I'm just gonna say right now, there were rumors about there being 5 Fighters Passes, and, well, 4 Ultimate, so that would round out to 100 characters, and, well, at the beginning, I thought it was false. Well, not really, sorry. What I'm trying to say is, at the beginning I believed it, then I started thinking it was false, more and more false, and with the with the Banjo release day reveal and Terry Bogard reveal, they revealed another Fighters Pass will be coming soon. So here are my top 5 characters for the next Fighters Pass in Smash Ultimate. Okay, now I'm gonna try to, well, some of my picks, like Zero, for instance. He already has a Mii costume, so I'm discluding him. Waluigi's already an assist trophy, so I'm discluding him. So, yeah. And, well, anyways, this is in no specific order, but first off, since there's already a Zero and a Proto Man Mii costume, I feel like Base should be included somewhere in there. Whether it be as a fighter, as an Echo fighter, even though I'd really hate that, or just another Mii costume. I mean, it really should be done like that, in my opinion. And honestly, I think Mega Man, well, the franchise as a whole deserves more respect because it's regaining its footing after Capcom shoved it down the drain. After, well, basically, you see a cow, you know how it is jerking off after you get exhausted? You know about the guy who jacked off 62 times straight and, well, without a break and died because of it? That's what Capcom did to Mega Man. Sorry for the haunting imagery, but anyways, well, I would love for Base to come into Smash Ultimate. I don't care what it is as, but I would prefer him as his own original character. And I've never played a Mega Man game with Base in it. I just know that I want more third-party characters, and I want the third-party characters to have more than one of the characters in that franchise, not including the Street Fighter franchise, because Ryu and Ken, while they're both in the Street Fighter games, but they say, oh, Ken's an echo of Ryu, he's not. But anyways, I think Base would be really neat and just a really fun way to have a character that pays homage to something that, while it might not have been the best days for something, it definitely wasn't the worst. And next up, you may find this surprising. I actually have 2 characters here. You know how there's Ryu and Ken? Well, you know how they're from Street Fighter? You know what Street Fighter's main rival is? Mortal Kombat. You probably already know who I'm gonna say. Scorpion and Sub-Zero. These 2 characters are the main rivals of Ryu and Ken, and if Ryu and Ken deserve a spot in Smash Ultimate, I mean, well, of course they're a huge part of gaming history, but so are Scorpion and Sub-Zero. Just not even a part of only competitive gaming history, but just history of games as a whole. Honestly, these 2 are some of the biggest gaming icons for fighting games ever. Dare I say, bigger icons than Ryu and Ken themselves. And honestly, I get that it would be a bit troubling to enter them into Smash Ultimate because the fatalities would probably be their final Smash or something. But I think that there's ways to work around it. Like what they did with Snake and Bayonetta, for example. Honestly, I would just really love to see these two in the game. They deserve their spots for one, and I really would just love to see how their movesets end up. Like Scorpion's neutral special could be his uh, I don't know, probably his neutral special could be a little fireball spit while Sub-Zero shoots a little ice ball. Scorpion's up B could be his Hellfire Punch, uh, teleporting, well, like Mewtwo's up B. Um, and his side B could be his Hunai Spear, the one where it says, "Get over here." And his down B, probably his Hellfire, just raising some fire up from the ground to burn you. I don't know about other moves, but it would be really cool to see him as kind of a hybrid of both a sword character and a brawler character. I mean, we've had characters that kind of use a sword or kind of use a fist or two in some of their moves, but we haven't really had too many characters, if any, use both of those archetypes. And Scorpion, I think, would be really neat. And if you have Scorpion in there, you have to have Sub-Zero. I don't care about the other ninjas, they're not nearly as iconic. I just want those two in there. Next up, the character that people have made a meme out of, but honestly, he would be a really unique addition. Steve from Minecraft. And, as an extra, the Fortnite default. Now, I know what you're gonna say, Fortnite's dead. You fucking dweeb. Do you even know that shit? You fucking normie. Get the hell out of here. Minecraft is amazing and Fortnite's fucking gay. I know that you're going to say that. But the reason why I'm including both in there is because both are some of the biggest icons of gaming, well, of modern gaming. And honestly, a lot of these characters are from older games, unless you count characters like Greninja or Bayonetta. But I just want some characters from I want more characters from newer games, and I think the Fortnite default would probably be the best example of this, and Steve would also be a really good example of this. But first off, Steve. Now, for Steve, I mean, there's endless amounts of what he could do for his moves. I mean, come on. Like for his final smash, he could just use a trident and fling it at his opponent. Most of his moves could consist of, let's say, uh, his side B could be like Isabel's with a fishing rod. He could have, well, of course he would use his diamond sword. He could use his bow and arrow for his side B. There are, or neutral B, not side B, but there are plenty of ways to incorporate Steve in. The Fortnite default is another tricky one. But, well, for the Fortnite default, I feel like tossing a grenade for a neutral special, of course. Uh, Probably a Scar for the side special. Then, well, most of the moves would obviously consist of gunshots, and maybe they can do something with the Infinity Blade. I mean, they could incorporate that into their final smash, but I think that it would probably be best if their final smash was like just a ton of, well, not really a ton of, but using the quad launcher. And, well, I can see why Nintendo wouldn't want to do this because Fortnite's got a whole ton of controversy behind it, but I would really like that to happen. Okay, let's see. That has been 3 characters, I believe. Okay, we need to talk about my most wanted character, Bandana motherfucking D. This character I've wanted since before Smash 4 even came out. When the trailers were coming out for Smash 4, I was extremely hyped. I was constantly thinking for Bandana D to be in, especially because, well, Bandana D is well, sorry. Bandana D has one of my favorite Kirby abilities in Spear, and he was in my favorite Kirby game and favorite video game of all time, in fact. Kirby's Return to Dreamland. Now, honestly, with Bandana D, I mean, there's plenty of stuff you can do. You can give him some of his moves can be involved around an umbrella. He could use part of the beam ability, but of course, most of it would have to revolve around the spear ability. I mean, for instance, what they did in SSF2, if you take that character and put it into Smash Ultimate, he'd probably be a solid high tier. But just change the spear toss to where it's better. That way, and I get that it stuns them there, but Bandana D gets no mileage off of it in SSF2 because all the lag at the end of it. And well, honestly, Bandana D, there are plenty of people who've talked about why he should be it. He is one of the biggest icons of modern Nintendo, and really something that shows that when Nintendo wants to do it, they can make a character that should seem completely useless because it's part of a species that's normally completely useless, but is a huge asset to the main characters. And I think that Bandana D definitely deserves a spot in Smash. Okay, now my last character. Alright, I know you guys are going to hate me for this because this will, I believe, make 9 characters from this franchise in, but, I mean, come on. If you're going to have a Final Evolution Fire Starter, and then, well, if you're going to have 2 Fire Pokemon, basically, each type except for Grass that's a starter type has a Final Evolution in it. But, okay. Squirtle, Water type starter, Greninja, Final Evolution of a Water type starter. Incineroar, Fire type Final Evolution. Charizard, also Final Fire type evolution. But we haven't seen that with any Grass Pokemon yet. And for my last character, I would like to go with the Final Evolution of Grookey for Pokemon Sword and Shield. Now, would I prefer Scorbunny? Well, honestly, yeah. I'd prefer most stuff from the Scorbunny line, I can say right now, but for me, I just want to bring balance in there. I mean, it always has put me off that, okay, I mean, why isn't there a Final Evolution Grass starter? Decidueye would have been a great choice, but nope, they added Incineroar, which I get it, but I mean, come on, Decidueye is just so much more interesting for a fighting game, even though he's already in Pokemon Tournament Deluxe, still. And I feel like Grookey's Final Evolution would, well, they're definitely going to have to make it good, but yeah, honestly, I just really hope that Grookey's Final Evolution makes it. It was always off-putting, and here's some honorable mentions that are both Pokemon, but both should be included in some sort of Echo Fighters pass. Those two being Mew and Raichu. Now, Raichu, of course, being a much slower, heavyweight Pikachu that has, well, bigger hitboxes, more of an ability to kill, but what moves Pikachu would normally use to combo, Raichu would use for, well, some of them to combo, some of them for mix-ups, and honestly, I think Raichu should be a bit of a mix of Pikachu and Pichu, to where he can't really rack up too many combos, but he kills as early as Pichu, but doesn't die as early. But dies later than Pichu and Pikachu. He should take some traits from both, like, let's say, Pichu's back air and then Pikachu's neutral air. I'll say that. And then, just from that alone, I mean, Raichu is kind of already a really good character just with those two moves. I mean, come on. And just adding more to that, I think Raichu would be one of the best heavyweights in the game. And the last character that's an honorable mention, Mew. Now, there's a reason I said Echo Fighters Pass, because I don't really want these two as actual characters that have their own time spent in developing them specifically, because, I mean, come on, it's just so much more obvious to put them as an Echo, and I know Sakurai says it doesn't have any effect on who will and will not be coming into the game, but when it's making these DLC characters for the final version, you would think that, well, they would include characters that are not clones mostly. And yeah, I just want these two on an Echo Fighters Pass. And for Mew, I'll describe it more. I want him to play a bit more like a Smash 4 Mewtwo, of course, but lighter. Lighter, but much faster, despite what the stats and Pokemon would say. And final Smash obviously should be Shattered Psyche. I mean, not Shattered Psyche, but uh, whatever the Munium Z makes Mew use. Honestly, I think Mew would be really interesting. A more a faster Mewtwo, more focused on long strings of combos instead of short strings of combos and then mostly straight hits, with a few nerfs like, well, tone down that forward air, tone down Shadow Ball, and honestly, I think nerfing those two moves but buffing everything else would be a really good trade-off, because honestly, well, Shadow Ball, of course, I mean, it is the main move Mewtwo uses, but forward air gets really overlooked, which really surprises me. I mean, honestly, that's probably his second best move, and if Shadow Ball wasn't there, it would by far be his best move. Anyways, guys, this has been typhlosion787 with my top 10 characters I want in the second Fighters Pass for Smash Ultimate, and I'm out of the house. Bye!